This is the map of the United States. It's surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean on the east, the Gulf of Mexico, which isn't an ocean, but it's a body of water in the central area, and the Pacific Ocean in the west. The region of the United States are as follows. The Northeast consists of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. The Southeast region contains West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. The Southwest region of the United States contains Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Arizona. The Midwest region of the United States contains Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. The West region of the United States contains New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Utah, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, and finally Hawaii. The time zones of the United States are as follows. Eastern time starts from Maine, Florida, and ends in Indiana, around here. Central time starts around Chicago and ends around El Paso, circling around a few more. Mountain time starts around Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming, Montana, and goes around, takes up some parts of Oregon and Utah and Arizona, while Pacific time contains all of California, Nevada, parts of Idaho, Oregon, Washington. Alaska and Hawaii have their own separate time, like Aleutian time and Hawaii time. The states of the United States are, this is Maine. Its capital is Augusta and it borders New Hampshire. It is the only state in the United States to border one state. It has a lot of lighthouses and lobsters. It also borders Canada, which has a weird border with Maine. It also borders the Atlantic Ocean too. New Hampshire. New Hampshire borders Vermont, Massachusetts, and Maine. Its capital is Concord. Vermont. Vermont borders New York, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Its capital is Montpelier. Massachusetts. Massachusetts borders Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New York. It's tied with New York for the number of states it borders. Its capital is Boston, which is one of the largest cities in the United States. Rhode Island. Rhode Island borders Massachusetts and Connecticut. It is the smallest state in the United States in terms of size. In population, it's about 1 million in 2020. Connecticut. Connecticut borders Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York. Its capital is Hartford. New York. New York's capital is Albany, not New York City. Though New York City is a big city, it's not the capital of New York. New York City is the largest city in the United States in population. It has about 78 million people in 2020. New York borders Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. It also borders Canada at Niagara Falls. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania borders New Jersey, New York, Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. It also borders a lot of states like New York, Massachusetts. Its capital is Harrisburg, and the Erie Canal helps bring some. It borders Lake Erie, but does not border the Atlantic Ocean, though it does border this part of water so boats can get into the Atlantic. Maryland. Maryland borders Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, and West Virginia. Its capital is Annapolis, which is right here. Also, it has Washington, D.C., which is not inside of the state, but is basically another state, but it's not. It's a city, but it's not a state. But it's neither part of Maryland or Virginia, though it should be part of Maryland because it's on the other side of the Potomac River, but it's a federal territory. This is the Chesapeake Bay, which Maryland only gets this part. Virginia gets the rest. Delaware. Delaware borders Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. Delaware is the first state. Its capital is Dover, and it borders the Atlantic Ocean.